Hello, giggly witches. We are
Hello.
so excited
I
because today we have a really fun guest. Rhea is with us on Instagram. You can find her at Dragon Soul Magic. And we're gonna talk about dragons today,
I'm so
which
yes.
is
excited.
so cool.
Yay! Hello everyone. Thank you girls for having me. This is so exciting.
Thank you for
We're
being here.
we're so
Oh yeah.
excited to talk all things dragon. So Rhea's a dragon
Yes.
channeler, which is so cool. So we're so excited to learn
Yes.
Yes.
like how that came to be. We want to know the origin story. We want to know everything. But
Yeah.
before we get into
Oh
all
my
of that,
gosh. I totally
oh,
forgot to
what?
tell you about silly goofy time, Rhea.
Oh, that's
Oh,
So
we we always start with silly goofy time. Pam and I
okay.
will take the wheel and we just ask like silly questions or share a silly
Okay.
story. So if you have anything that you're inspired to share, but we'll
Okay.
lead the way. Don't worry.
Uh,
yeah.
Wonderful. Okay.
Pam, do you have a silly goofy to start?
Um,
You're like, no. Okay, I can go.
I don't even remember. I can't even like remember the last week. To be honest, I feel like it went so fast.
Yeah. It did. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll start. I have a playful question for all of us, but first, I'd like to start by sharing that I brought my dragon to today's episode.
That is adorable. I have one too, and mine is blue, of course.
Oh my gosh. I have to share that this is very healing for my inner child because I've always been obsessed with like I love reading, fantasy. And so
Yeah.
from that point of view, I've always like dragons are my favorite. So I have my little dragon here. That's my first silly goofy. And my question is, and Pam and we don't have as much historically accurate information about dragons we're about to learn. So we might have to go with like fictional versions, but I want to know
I
if
mean,
you were a dragon, what color would your scales be? What would be your like vibe, your archetype, or is there like a fictional dragon that you're like that's who I would be from like a certain series or
okay.
story? So,
So
yeah, Rhea, do you know?
this is such a fun question. I I mean, I'm gonna be very like predictable, but it's probably gonna be black and
hmm
blue scales.
Mm,
Perhaps
like your
like the kind
hair.
I was just
yeah.
gonna say like your hair.
Perhaps the kind that changes depending on the light.
hmm
Oh,
So like
mhm.
very opalescent. And I would probably be um let's see about elements. What would I be?
Mm,
Well, I would be a fire elemental probably.
mhm.
Yeah. I am a Sag sun, so yeah.
Love.
I love it. I'm a Sag rising, and I definitely feel very close to that part of my
Very
chart. I feel
yeah.
ya. What about you, Pam?
I was gonna say I was gonna say something and then I was like, that's a spoiler for a book that I know you're gonna read soon, so
Uh-oh,
I'm not
okay.
gonna say it.
Now I know
But
there's
I was
That's exciting.
well, I told you that it's not in the book you're reading right now,
Oh, a
but
different
it's a
one. Yeah,
book
yeah,
you're
yeah.
going to read
In this
about
series.
actual dragons. Yeah. Um, but I think I would be kind of the same. Like I would love to have kind of like an iridescent
Mm,
scale situation going on, like where I could change um colors, I think would be really
mm-hmm.
cool, like depending on the situation. And then I think I would also be a fire element, like Aries
We're all
stellium.
fiery
And
here.
yeah, very,
Yeah,
yeah.
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 Mm, I think, I would be red and fiery. I think that I think that I would be the dragon from Shrek. That's like trying to be like scary and stuff, but then she ends up like flirting and batting her. I think that's
She's a queen,
yeah.
so
I
yeah,
think
we
that's
love
me as
her.
a dragon is
Yeah.
the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Oh God.
That was my silly
I
goofy. I
love
have
it.
another question. Not so much silly goofy, but just whenever we have guests, it's fun to hear. Rhea, what in your like day-to-day life do you feel like makes you feel most like magical, or since we're talking about dragons, like connected to dragons, or like what's a way that you make like day to day magical, I guess is my question.
Honestly, I feel that connecting with your altar is
Mm,
it's very powerful, even if it seems like kind of mundane, maybe,
yeah,
but
yeah.
just taking a few minutes to just light up the candles, say hello to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I usually, when I go to my dragon's altar, I will turn on their candle. I will cleanse myself with the dragon's blood incense, and then I will smoke up the altar for them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll dab a little bit of like protection oil or whatever, oil that I feel like using in that moment. And that's very magical to me.
I love that. Yeah, the first Dragon's Blood incense is my favorite incense. I buy it in bulk. I have like little bits of other ones, and then there's like 10 packs of Dragon's Blood incense
Yeah.
in my incense
I
drawer.
feel like it's pretty popular.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's just my favorite
Yeah.
smell. Oh my gosh, it's so yummy.
Yeah.
That yeah, the first thing I do when I wake up is like make my coffee and light up my incense, and then I like pull a tarot card, and it's just a nice way to like open your day feeling a little
Yeah.
magical to do something. What about you,
Definitely.
Pam?
Yeah, I mean, ditto, retweet. I have Lady Aphrodite's altar in my bedroom, so I kind of
Mm.
um
Love.
will wake up in the morning and sit with her and like I have put on just like frequency music and kind of
Mm-hmm.
just get ready for my day. Say good morning to all my gods, and kind of just go from there.
That
Yeah,
I
simple,
love that.
easy. Works
Beautiful.
with my energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into it. So, Rhea, I just gotta know, how did you come to be a dragon channeler? How did you connect to dragon magic? Like what how did this all, I guess, sort of like your witchy origin story.
Which origin story. So I I feel like I've always like even as a child, I've always been connected to the other side, if you
Mm.
want to call it that. I remember stories from my parents about how I would talk to, my grandpa who wasn't there with us
Oh
anymore.
wow.
And I would have, like, I was always like, I would have thrown the whole child away if I heard that. So
See, I'm like
kudos to
I'm
you.
manifesting if I have a kid. I'm like I wanted to be a spooky kid that's like talking to dead
Oh,
people,
yeah.
and I'm like that's the kind of kid I
But
want.
like, as a witch, like what it is,
Yeah.
but like as a
You can
person who
encourage it.
has exactly like props to you.
Like
Um,
our kid is so scary. So you were a
yeah,
scary kid.
exactly. I was. Then eventually, as it happens with a lot of us,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I got scared of something and
Mm.
everything closed up, sort of.
Yeah.
And so I became actually very scared of anything that was supernatural, spiritual, all these things until um a few years ago. We're talking before the pandemic, and I feel like many people awakened
Yeah.
in that moment.
Yeah.
And I had someone that I would talk to that was witchy, and I just felt like, maybe that's something that I want to explore as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I got into the basics and everything, but nothing felt right. Like I felt like, I don't know. And of course, you don't need a label. Like as a
Right.
witch, you don't need to label yourself. You don't need to like immediately find a deity, immediately find your
Yeah.
path. That's just do you.
Mm-hmm.
But
Exactly.
yes, but to me, something was missing. And so, you're just like researching and getting to know, about different paths and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And then at one point, I stumble upon draconic witches.
Mm.
And I'm like, that's a thing?
It sparked something.
Dragons? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Yeah.
immediately I was like, that's a thing. So dragons exist. And
Yeah. Oh,
and
I have
I
a
was
chill.
someone who who has loved dragons always.
Yeah.
And I always say this to like my friends. I'm like, I've always dreamed of being Daenerys Targaryen, like with her dragons. And now
Yes.
I'm kind of like
Yes.
her.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love
So,
that.
yeah, so I started researching, and the rest is history.
Amazing.
I met my first guardian dragon. I had wonderful experiences with him. Uh, we became very close, and then, I studied with him, and I kept researching and researching until I found, the rest of my team. I think I have 8 dragons right now, or 7. I'm not, at the moment, I'm not like 100% sure, but yeah, and then I was like, okay, I like to like do readings, and I'm talking about normal readings like
Yeah.
tarot and oracle, and then down the line I also got initiated into Reiki 1 and 2.
Mm.
And like my idea was to make my profile on, Instagram, and be like, I'm gonna offer Reiki and tarot readings, oracle readings, whatever. That was the plan.
Hmm.
Like,
And then
nothing
the
else.
dragons had a different plan.
Yeah. And basically, like, I wanted to also talk about dragons, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, Dragon Soul Magic is the name that I had to begin with.
Oh,
Mm.
wow.
And the plan was like to talk about dragons and how everything works with them, that and
Yeah.
this basically. But at one point, I had someone ask, advice, because they had recently discovered that they had a dragon as a spirit guide.
Mhm.
And so I was like, you know what? Would you like me to try and contact your dragon for free, of course, free of charge? And that's how it came to be. Basically,
Amazing.
yeah. I contacted her dragon, and from there, I started channeling dragons for other people.
Wow.
That's
That's,
so cool.
yeah.
So I guess how do you like when you first met your first guardian dragon,
Hmm.
did the dragon come to you? Were you like, "Hey, dragons, anyone
So,
there?" Are you
kind
there,
of,
dragons? It's me, Margaret.
because, yeah, pretty much that's what happened. So, the thing with dragons is that they're different than deities, for
Hmm.
example. Like, you research what deity you feel like you could connect to,
Right.
and then you start calling out to them, and you start to build a relationship with them. And of course, like, even with deities, you need to both agree on the relationship that you're going to
Mhm.
have, because it's not a given that the deity wants to work with you like right off the bat.
Mm.
Right.
With dragons, they will decide if they want to work with you. So it's sort of like put a call out there and see if there's, any feedback, basically.
Yeah.
So this
Who
is what
picks up?
happened. Yes, it was like a lot of dragons, and then it was down to 2, and then the only one that remained was my first guardian. And then a couple years passed, and the other dragon that was left joined as well as my second guardian, and it was very special.
I love
Yeah,
that.
it's beautiful.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah.
Did you
So
read
this
Fourth Wing?
I didn't. I want to.
Oh my gosh.
And
Okay.
yeah, everyone
It's
is, I know.
I mean it's all dragons, but
Yeah.
the way you were talking about it kind of makes me feel like the way I pictured it in my brain makes me imagine what threshing would be like, which is
Yeah.
when they
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like the dragons and the riders kind of like choose each other. But that's
Yeah. And the thing is that I've been like a lot of people have told me about Fourth Wing, and we're all wondering if the author actually is a dragon witch or something,
maybe.
because there's a lot of aspects like in what people have told me, or just like they're just like, I feel like there's something there. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
not just someone that's talking about dragons as a, fictional
Yeah.
fantasy
Yeah.
creatures. There's something. So I definitely need to
Maybe. I would love your
I
input on it. Once you read it, let me know. Or
Yeah,
yeah.
I
text me
will.
throughout the whole thing because
Yeah.
that's it.
I have a theory that a lot of authors like are they don't know that they're channeling like actual
Mm,
like information maybe from other dimensions or from different times
yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's a lot of because like I love sci-fi, I love fantasy, and a lot of sci-fi books, they're the stuff written in like the 1800s and then like comes true in like the 2000s, like just like really interesting. And the same thing with, yeah, like maybe this author isn't like a conscious like dragon witch, but she's like channeling something.
Honestly.
She doesn't know that she's tapped into
Maybe,
something
yeah.
and channeling it. Or she
Yeah.
also, could be researching and using like trying to use like accurate
Yeah.
information. There's other things.
Maybe.
But I think
Right.
that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
writers sometimes channel things and they don't know that they're channeling. They just think they're
That will make
making
sense.
stuff up.
Yeah.
That's my
Or maybe
theory.
they're manifesting it at times.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Let's see. I have my little questions here. So, okay, so let's go back to, let's say someone listening, or Pam and I, um, we're like, okay, I want to, set the intention to call out. What are some ways, like, how do dragons typically like present themselves, answer your call? What are some ways that we could sort of know how to open up communication and feel validated that like there is something coming back to us. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
definitely. So, first of all, it can be um, hard to hear them, can be hard to channel them at first.
Mm.
I went for a very long time without being able to openly communicate, like in a way that I would get feedback
Mhm.
from them. And it was very frustrating. So, um, what I'm doing on Instagram, it's sort of like being the person that I would have wanted
Mhm.
to have
Yeah.
when I was starting out. So there's that. It's Don't be frustrated, because it's very appropriate for a dragon to also be silent at times. Some of them are silent, like they're not very talkative,
Mhm.
and others will talk your ear off. So it depends. But yes, definitely you can put the intention out to want to open yourself up to having a dragon work with you.
Yeah.
That's usually the first thing that you want to do. You can offer them something, perhaps, of course, dragon's blood. It's a big favorite of theirs. Um, Even, you know, just sitting for a little bit in meditation and try to see if there's anything that is sort of familiar
Mhm.
with dragons. And some of them can hide like in a corner. You will maybe see only a shadow. You will see only, kind of literally like they're hiding somewhere, but you will see them out the corner of your eye. Um, the signs that are most common to know that there's a dragon in your space,
Mhm.
you will definitely feel a shift in energy if you're sensitive to energy.
Yeah.
Some of them can be very heavy.
Mhm.
Some of them have very heavy energies, and you will literally like feel them in your chest. There's also a lot of communication through smoke. At times it's gonna be like either real smoke that has no source whatsoever. I remember before we like I live with my girlfriend and she has two dragons herself. And before we actually tapped into one of hers, our living room would become filled with smoke. And we would be
That's
like,
so
what the
weird.
hell is going on?
You're like, babe, did you leave something on fire?
Like literally like this kind of fog,
Oh
and we
my
would be
God.
like, what is going on? And that's a very unmistakable sign.
Wow.
Another thing is like out of nowhere you will feel a shift in temperature.
Mm.
Doesn't matter if it's cold or hot,
Yeah.
because not all dragons are, fire. Some of them can be water, ice, and so some of them may feel cold. I remember I channeled an ice dragon once and I could not stop shivering.
Wow.
Like they were like their energy was so cold and it was just
Yeah.
unmistakable. Um, they will reach out in dreams, they will reach out in meditation. There's many ways in which they can make their presence known. Um, but yeah, also just just very simply, you will start seeing the word dragon everywhere.
Mm.
So they will let you know because they can be very persistent. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
So
When
yeah.
they show up, will they always show up as a dragon, or will they show up as, I don't know, like a humanoid type thing,
So
or
they actually do have humanoid forms, pretty much all of them. Not everyone is going to shift into it. Usually it's the biggest dragons that will shrink and perhaps take on a humanoid form. Um, those who have, the most, uh, the more ancient, the more powerful, those
yeah.
who could be like, also it's like from person to person, they will feel if you can handle their kind of energy.
Like,
So
I
they
don't want
will
to
like
freak you out.
adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, that's
Yeah.
Yes,
cool. That makes
yes.
sense.
Yeah, I feel like the angels will do that too.
Definitely
Yeah.
angels.
Like come to
Yeah.
them as human forms and not their like biblically accurate
Yeah, because
angels
I've
who
seen those and
Yeah.
I'm like,
freak people
oh
out.
wow, okay.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so cool. Okay, so you mentioned the elements.
Mm.
Yeah.
What kind of elements are there for dragons?
Okay, so as humans, we have four elements, five if we count spirit as an
Mhm.
element as well. So the dragons have nine.
Oh wow.
And this is also one of the reasons why nine is a very important number for them.
Mm.
So if you start seeing 999,
Mm.
that can be
Yeah.
a sign from them as well. Usually when I start seeing 999 everywhere, I'm like, okay, they're calling. What is going on?
That's so funny because over the weekend, I like sometimes I'll go a couple days where it's like a certain number, and over the
Yeah.
weekend I was seeing 999s everywhere, and that was just being like, oh, the episode's coming up. They're
Now
like,
you know.
hey. That's
Yes.
so funny.
Yeah.
Literally.
That was my number this
Um,
weekend.
yeah, exactly. Oh my God, I lost my train of thoughts.
Oh, the elements. So the nine
The elements.
elements.
Thank you. Sorry.
Hmm.
So they're divided in lesser and higher
Okay.
elements. So what's the difference? The lesser will be the elements that are perceivable to us humans. So it's gonna be earth, air, water, fire. And the higher are going to be light, dark, spirit, maelstrom, and chaos. And those are the higher elements, and they're the elements that are much harder to work with. So, me included, for whoever starts out working with them, you will start with the lesser elements first
Hmm.
Yeah.
because they are still primal energies, because the dragons are the primal, most raw, um, basically, yeah, they embody the most raw
Yeah.
part of all these elements. So it's a very strong energy. Even when we are faced with, a fire dragon, it's going to be very, definitely very intense to work with.
Kind of like raw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Think of like literally the core of a volcano,
Yeah.
basically.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then the other elements would be sort of like more spiritual. So it's like the metaphysical, the things that we cannot touch. And they can also be pretty destructive if you're not grounded enough in the way of working with them. And this is like it's not a way to gatekeep. It's not elitism. It's
Yeah.
literally, it can be dangerous to work with these forces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's
What
the same, I think, with anything in
Yeah,
witchcraft. There are
exactly.
certain, you kind of got to
Yeah,
work your way up.
what
exactly.
is maelstrom?
Maelstrom,
I don't
yes.
know that word.
Maelstrom.
Like a
Maelstrom.
storm.
It would be the storm, exactly.
Storm. Okay.
Yes, would be the storm, but it's not just the storm. It's a force that sort of where like all elements go and converge.
Mhm.
Mm.
So it's sort of like this a vortex almost of
Okay.
all the elements, and in there everything goes to be
Yeah.
destroyed, sorry.
Mm.
Everything
Mm-hmm.
goes to be destroyed. And after that, there's chaos. So it's like the creation
Mm.
Yeah.
from destruction. So it's a pretty powerful force.
Yeah. Almost like
Okay.
they're like the primordial gods
Yes.
in like Greek mythology, like
Mm.
Yes.
Chaos, Erebus,
Exactly.
Nyx.
I
Yes.
feel
Yeah.
like it's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
giving
yeah.
like Dark Knight of the Soul vibes where you just kind of have to like die and be
Yeah,
reborn. You're like,
exactly.
like that
Like,
point where you're just like completely overcome
exactly.
with. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Very cool.
Like, for example, you say light element, and you may think it's like, oh, but light, it's beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's joy, it's happiness, it's literally light. But draconic light is shining light on everything,
Mm.
Yeah.
truth on everything. And it's like, are you prepared to shine light on everything?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
prepared to see the truth of everything? Because it's gonna
Yeah.
be like everything comes out, even the things that will hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so you have to be conscious of that.
I'm
And
laughing because
ready.
there's been times where I'm like, just like show me, like I surrender, whatever, and I'm like, no, 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 never mind. I didn't want too much, too much. Get that
Exactly.
out. Like
Yeah.
sometimes ignorance is bliss. I actually didn't want to know that. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. It's that energy. Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, no, no. I actually wasn't prepared for that. I spoke too soon. I asked too soon for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is probably like such a huge question, but so the dragons, they're connected to different elements. Is there other ways that that are like categorical or characteristic archetype type things that the dragons are sort of connected to besides the elements? Or is it mainly elemental?
They are elemental in nature.
Mm-hmm.
So also all the elements will have like sub-elements. So like you have,
Mm.
for example, you have fire, but then you have sun, you have
Mm.
volcanic, and all of that. But yeah, like when you talk about archetypes, you would also talk about the dragons that are spoken about in mythology. They're more archetypes. So when you talk about Tiamat and Leviathan and Jormungand, Quetzalcoatl, they can also be archetypes. They're also they can also be deities in other cultures,
Yeah.
or infernals such as Leviathan, and you can decide if you want to work with Leviathan, for example. You can decide if you want to work with them as a dragon or as an infernal. But dragons are basically elementals because they are
Hmm.
the primal
Makes
forces that
sense.
created the universe. So yeah.
And so, and also you said you met like your first guardian dragon. So are there different sort of roles or jobs? Like we have like the archangels that are connected to like protection and different
Yeah.
things, right? Is
Yeah.
it so you have a guardian dragon? Is that sort of a role, and are there other roles, so to speak, that
Yeah.
different dragons take on when you work with them?
Yeah. So, there's different ways to work with dragons. You
Mm-hmm.
can go the dragon magic route. That's gonna be a little bit more of initiation that you have with the dragons.
Mm.
And in dragon magic, you're gonna have the guardian, which is the first dragon that you meet, and it's
Okay.
the first one that is going to teach you like the basics.
Mm-hmm.
And they're usually a smaller and younger dragon.
Mm.
And that's like the first role that a dragon can have um in the life of a practitioner. So
Okay.
basically they are, of course, they are extremely they live a very long life.
Mm.
And so young for them would be like 200 or
Yeah.
300 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's that's young.
Just a baby.
Uh yeah, it's literally like 200 is a baby for a dragon.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's also like them starting out to reach out to humans and reach their maturity.
Hmm.
Mhm.
They have a trainer too. That's the beauty of
Yeah.
it. You're probably not gonna see the trainer, like the dragon that trains them, but it's there
That's
with
so
you.
cute.
And also the even cuter part is that a guardian is also going to be a babysitter for other baby dragons. So there's gonna be like babies around them, and
I love that.
that's the cutest thing ever.
Oh my gosh. I'm just picturing
And
little
then
like toddler dragons running
yeah,
Yeah,
around my
yeah,
house.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
they they're kind of like kittens.
yes. I
yeah.
Yes.
love that.
They're little rascals. And yeah, that's like the first dragon that you would meet as a dragon magician. And then after working with your guardian, you will then meet your co-magician. Your co-magician is a much older dragon. They're gonna be in the thousands, 2000s years. And they are basically going to be your actual teacher. They will teach you magic. They will teach you uh so much, even about just life itself. And you start working with both these figures. I have three guardians, so it like in time you may be joined by other dragons. Something that I said recently in a post is that where one dragon goes, others will follow, and that's basically what happens, especially if they really really like your energy, and if you like commit to working with them, as opposed to like working with a dragon and then being like mainly working with deities, for example. And so the hierarchy is that there's them, and then you will meet the rulers, the draconic rulers of the elements, because every element has a ruler, and that would be sort of like the chief of the elemental plane that they all come from.
Yeah.
And every dragon of that element has to report to them.
Okay.
Very
And
cool.
then there's even higher figures, and they're like the most powerful dragons of all, and they would be the god and the goddess. And they're like the rulers of every other dragon. And then, of course, you can have like, if you're not a dragon magician and if you just want to walk the path of the dragon, you can just have a spirit guide that's a dragon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna piggyback off of that really quick.
Yeah.
Actually, first, I'm gonna ask a more relevant question. So in Fourth Wing, they kind of
Mm-hmm.
categorize them also by color. Is
Mm-hmm.
it only, like, I know we asked this, but like, is it color at all, or is it only like elements?
No, it's only
Only
elements.
elements.
Yes.
Very cool.
There are some schools of thoughts that would categorize dragons by colors as well,
Uh-huh.
but not in dragon magic, not in what I've studied and learned. Actually, when you said that you would want to be a dragon that changes color,
Uh-huh.
that's something that dragons do.
Okay.
Yeah, they're shapeshifters. Some of them will remain the same color that you met them as. Others are going to change just because they want to and just because they can. And another thing that they will do is also shift their form. So when, there's like all these categories of like a drake, a worm,
Yeah.
wyvern, and a
Yeah.
dragon, and everything, they're all dragons. They're just different shapes of how a dragons want to present themselves. And I've had like one of my guardians has been the same color always, but they will present always as an Asian dragon. But when they get very protective, they will turn into a Western dragon. Don't ask me why. Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
It's
so
just
cool.
literally they just change if they
What they
want
feel
to.
like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna piggyback off of before, like as them just being a guide.
Hmm.
So a couple years ago, someone told me that I had a red dragon.
Okay.
And then I never did anything about it because I was like, what?
Okay.
I don't know what to do with this.
You're like, okay.
I was like, that's really cool. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
So let's say now you've reached out, you've got your dragon, or someone tells you, hey, you've got a dragon. What would be like the number one first step that you would
Meditate.
just meditate?
Meditate with them. Yes.
Okay.
Because you will learn very soon that they will definitely, like, if they know that you don't have your psychic senses opened, developed, they will allow you to talk to them through divination.
Mhm.
But you will learn very soon that they would rather just have a face-to-face conversation, and meditation is the way to go about that.
Yeah.
So the important thing is that you get comfortable and just familiar with their energy, and
Okay.
they have to get familiar with yours as well.
Yeah.
So literally just visualize them sitting in front of you and just chill.
Okay.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah, just hanging out.
And another important thing, like to connect to them, is talk to them.
Okay.
Even if you cannot hear them reply back to you, just talk to them. Especially as you're first starting out, I will say talk to them every day. And
Mm,
you don't have to like be there for an hour. You can just like while you're doing your dishes, you're just like, hey, checking in. I did this and that and that. My day so and so. I'm a little sad. I'm very happy that this happened. And they want to be friends.
yeah,
That's the thing about dragons. They don't want your reverence or worship. Of course, you
of
have to be very respectful,
course.
especially at first when you're first. It's like literally, I don't know you. We're just
Yeah.
getting to know each
Yeah.
other, so you're not gonna like start out by insulting me or something.
Yeah.
That can come later, baby.
A little playful banter later.
Yeah, exactly. They love that. They
Yeah, yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I actually, because I have this book. I don't know if you've read this book, but it's called Dragon Magic by
Oh yeah.
DJ Conway. But I got
Hmm.
it out because I was like, I gotta flip through it. And bless me for always underlining things that stood out to me so I could go through. But years ago, I bought this book because I had a really, really vivid meditation with a dragon. And it was so cool because I wrote all these notes in the margins of this about that meditation and the things I felt and the name I heard and all of these things. And I was like, oh, after this episode, I'm gonna like learn more about this and I'm gonna reach back
Yeah.
out to that dragon that had visited me in that and it was a time in my life where I really need to be held and that was sort of the meditation was I was a little fearful, but it was like, no, 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 I'm here to like hold you and carry you
Yeah.
to the next thing. So that was cool to read. I was like, bless me for always writing everything down
Yes.
Yeah.
and
So
Always.
you
revisiting all
both have
that.
dragons,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
I love that.
exactly.
Yes.
So I'm excited to take what we're learning today and sort of
Hmm.
So
revisit
excited.
that relationship. Speaking of, you kind of mentioned like in the beginning ways you start, you spend time with your altar and things, but I'm curious, like, what does it look like? I'm sure it's so different for all different practitioners, but for you, like, what does it look like to work with dragons? What forms does that take for you? It sounds like meditation, time with your altar.
Yeah.
Do you do offerings? Is there certain rituals? Yeah, any other parts of your practice connected to this?
So basically, dragons are the keeper of the balance in the universe. Well, they will argue that it's the multiverse, not just one universe. So balance is like the most important thing for them, and it's also what they want you to achieve. So you would work with them in a way that allows you to reach balance in your life. And magic is a very big component together with like working with them in meditation and so on. But there's a lot of spell work that you can do with them. Dragons love magic. Dragons love to teach you magic. They will like tell you an entire spell to do, all the ingredients, what to use, how to use it, call upon them, and they will feed energy into that whatever ritual spell,
Yeah.
whatever it is that you're doing. And yeah, that's what I do basically with them. It's a lot of spell work, a lot of working with their energy in meditation, because with them is when you have like when you feel like you have to go into meditation with them just to talk, you're just gonna talk.
Yeah.
But if you need support in a specific area, maybe they will also do energy work on you. So that's what's gonna happen. Energy is very important to them. They're entities that sort of feed off of energy, and I don't want this to sound like they're siphoning you. Absolutely not. It's just literally the best offer that you can give them. Actually, if you're an energy healer or a Reiki practitioner, if you give them a little bit of Reiki, that's like top-notch offering for them. So at times I will go to my altar and give them energy healing. So yeah, that's what we do.
That's awesome. Wow. I'm like processing like all of this information still.
That's fine, yeah. I love that.
What do you
Wow.
feel like in your like personal journey working with dragons, like what kind of like transformation or growth or like gift has that given you in your life? Like what have you yeah, like I think the transformation, like what has this journey given you in your life?
To like, yeah.
Yeah.
So dragons are also synonym of transformation and change and alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
And so they will challenge you, and they will, I feel like, of course, this is gonna sound like, okay, but every other entity does this. But it's true. They will put up a mirror, and they will let everything that you're kind of scared of happen. And always in a way that is safe. They're never gonna put you in any danger, of course, but they will like bit by bit, you're going to start from like the tiny little fears and you're gonna work through them. But like everything has been a blessing, honestly. So there's a
Is
lot of
there like
transformation.
a really powerful or memorable like moment, maybe a spell or a ritual, something involving like you working with dragons where you just felt like, wow, like this is I think as witches we have these moments where we're not that we doubt it, but we have those moments where we're
Oh
wowed and we're
yeah.
like, this is undeniably real what I'm doing here, you know?
Yeah.
Was there ever any moments like that for you, like a powerful memory you have of just going like,
Um,
oh my gosh, they're really here with me?
I think I'm gonna go with the very first time. So when I experience clairaudience,
Hmm.
it's never in a way that's physical.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna like hear something with my physical ears. It's
Yeah.
gonna be in my mind.
Same. Yeah.
Side note, dragons are telepathic, so you're
Mm.
always gonna hear them in your head.
Mm.
Um, one of the one of the, the things that made me go, oh my God, yes, we are doing
Yeah.
this. Um, I was working with just my first guardian, so it was very early on, and it was still in a I was still in a place where I never heard him talk back to me. I was always doing the talking or just seeing him, in
Yeah.
meditation. Um, and I remember it was a very well, it wasn't a dark moment yet, but it was pre-tower falling. So it was a situation that was gonna, fall apart with some people. And I remember doing meditation that was energy work for balance. And I remember after doing this meditation, I was texting with this person that, is no longer in my life. And I remember I had paused a video on my laptop, and it's been paused for a very long time. And all of a sudden, it just starts playing out of the blue. And I'm like, okay, what the hell?
Yeah.
What the helly?
What the hell?
I
What
say
the hell,
that all the
Yante?
time now. And so I go and just, okay, let's close this tab.
Hmm.
And then my partner and I go to dinner, and oh no, that was much after, but it was all around this situation.
Hmm.
I go to dinner at my aunt's, and we're all like, everyone around me is talking, is talking, is talking. And at some point I hear very loudly a very loud whisper in my ear,
Yeah.
and it's my name being called out.
Oh, I have a
And I'm
chill.
like,
Yes.
did somebody say my name? Like
Yeah.
I say it out loud to everyone and at the table. And mind you, we were like 10 people. Everyone looks at me and they're like, no, nobody said anything. I'm like, okay,
You're
great.
like, cool, cool. Me neither. I didn't know. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, me,
Normal over
I'm all
here.
good.
Yeah.
I'm totally normal about
Mhm.
this. So then a couple days go by, and my partner and I go to dinner, and we're just leaving. We have paid our bill, and I just have to go to the toilet. And outside of the stalls, there's of course the sinks and one of those air blades, those
Mm.
air and
The
dryers
yeah.
that just go off only if you put your hands inside of
Oh,
them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
the
I clearly,
the huff before
yeah,
continuing the story. I get that so
yeah,
much.
I clearly remember that maybe there was a person in one of the stalls. So I'm like, okay, I'm not alone. My partner is outside.
Yeah.
And right before I come out of the stall, I hear the air blade go off. And I get out and nobody's there. And their air blade is going off on its own. Like,
Dragon's like, just
Gonna
let her
wash
know
my
I'm here.
hands.
it's like you wanted a sign, you want to rebalance your life. This is what's going on. Like, these people have to go.
Yeah.
One way or
Yeah.
another, you have to listen to me. And
Yeah.
that's like when I was like, this is real. This is
Wow.
actually happening. And it all started out from that spell.
Wow.
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 That's, see, I would have preferred that one. I wasn't listening at all to my guides, not a dragon, but to my guides, and then I got hit by a truck. So
You're like,
they were like,
listen.
"You're gonna learn who's there for you," and
You're
I
gonna listen to us.
But like, why does that happen? Because once I was like, I don't need to rest. What are you talking about? No
Mm-hmm.
rest for me, no rest for
Yeah.
the wicked. And just
Mm.
I get, same thing. Nothing major, nothing too dramatic, but a car, ran into mine, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
what when you
Yeah.
don't listen,
They're
that
like, "You're
happens.
gonna rest."
They're like, be careful
One
what
way
you
or another.
ask for,
Yeah.
how you ask for.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
No,
like, that's not
serious.
what I meant, and you know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What can you?
Now
What
every
can I
time I'm
say?
like, carefully, please.
Carefully, safely.
Like,
Yeah.
to the harm of none and the
Yes,
benefit of
and
all.
especially me.
please.
To the
Oh
harm
my
of none,
gosh.
especially
Oh
little
my
old
gosh.
me.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So I was wondering if I could ask you about another type of creature because you made a post about this. Um, and I would love to hear more about like I guess the similarities or differences of like dragons and phoenixes.
Mm.
So, they come from different, like, their mythology is different. Uh, like you have like the Arabian tales of the phoenix, and then you
Huh.
have like the Asian tale of the phoenix. And in that tale, you also have the counterpart that is the dragon. That's like the only time in mythology in which these two entities actually come together, because you don't usually see them together. You are more likely to perhaps see a griffin and a dragon in a tale.
Okay.
And usually, like, the dragon will play the villain, and the griffin is gonna be like the ride of the hero, the one that's gonna slay the dragon mounts a griffin.
Yeah.
And so the phoenix is very much about transformation. That usually comes from a death of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be, I don't want to say that it's harsh, but at the end of the day, every tower moment can be harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the phoenix, like, as an entity, is going to be like this birth that lives a long life, and then at one point it dies, and it bursts into flames and regenerates.
Yeah.
And that's literally what they want you to do when they come as guides. That's what's gonna happen basically for you. And there's also an element of individuality of the phoenix, because the phoenix is a solitary creature, entity, whilst the dragon is community oriented. They thrive in community, and the phoenix is more solitary. And like they don't even have, like, they don't lay eggs, for example. They're their own baby. So they will teach you to be okay with yourself by yourself. Not to say that they want you to be isolated, of course, but they will teach you like that lesson of being self-sufficient
Yeah.
and being okay with, if you have to cut someone off,
Hmm.
you're gonna have to do it.
Hmm.
There's a lot of boundary setting, even like with the dragons too, but that's like the vibe of the Phoenix is that. Very
Amazing.
much so, yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Pam, do you have any
Yeah.
more questions? I covered all of mine.
I
I feel
feel
like I
like
learned
I
so much. I'm
do.
like, I need to
Yeah,
like, I keep being like, where's my notebook? I should be writing stuff down.
I
I can
know.
listen
I've
back.
been
It's
writing.
fine.
I I don't think so. I feel like I'm just like processing so much information right now, and
This
then
this has
I'm
been
gonna like
so
message you later
great.
and be like, wait, what about this?
We can
Rhea,
we can do a follow-up.
will you share with our listeners? You will put everything in the show notes, your links and your
Yeah.
your profiles and things, but just give us a little rundown for the listeners because I know they're as excited as we are. Like, how do we connect with you? What are ways we can work with you? Give us your socials, your offerings, all of that.
Yes. So I'm only on Instagram at the moment, and I have like my link in bio is a link to my coffee page. And so the work that I do is channeling dragons for other people. Um, it's not gonna be me putting you in contact with a dragon. It's just you coming to me with an energy of a dragon that's with you. If you already have oh my god, established relationship with a dragon, I can channel them for you, ask them questions that perhaps you want answered without bias and stuff like that. I also do energy healing. I started out, as I told you at the beginning, I started out as a Reiki practitioner, and then I sort of abandoned what's Usui Reiki, and I sort of built my own practice with the dragons because they sort of trickle into everything.
Mhm.
So they gave me new symbols to use with new names and everything, and so I use those in my energy healings. I channel the life force of the client, but also I channel that of the dragons that help me. So I have options for that. I also am an Akashic Records reader, so I do Akashic Records readings. And I also have a service that is a mix of both things. So there's an Akashic reading. Then there's a period in which I do Akashic healings every day for the client. And then at the end, there's a mini draconic healing. Um, hit me up. And then I do regular divination, but there's gonna be a new offering coming
Ooh.
kind of soon that's not in the realm of dragons. So, yeah.
Very exciting. Well, everyone, make sure you
Very
go
cool.
follow Rhea at Dragon Soul Magic. We'll have all the links in the show notes. Giggly Witches comes out every other Thursday. You can find us on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Make sure you're subscribed where you like to tune in. Leave a review if you're on Apple or Spotify. It helps us a whole bunch. And send this to your witchy BFF who has also been in love with dragons their whole life because
Yes.
they need to hear. Pam and I have all our links in the show notes. You can find our current offerings and our Instagram profiles and all of that. And thank you so much, Rhea, for joining us
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
And
So excited.
Me.
stay giggly, witches. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.